All right. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space itself. Tinius here, episode 341 of my Skydude adventures. Today I am flying something I do not believe I have flown before. The 185 SKYWAGON. So this is in Colorado, starting in Lyman, Colorado, which is north of here. And we're taking it to a place called Sterling, Colorado. We need to deliver this aircraft. And it doesn't look too dissimilar from the 175 Skyhawk. But we're going to find out. Should be a short one, about 45 minutes. That looks like the 172 right there. But it must have more seating in the back, calling it the SKYWAGON. All right. So let's remove the engine covers, the chocks, the pitot tube. Probably all we have to do. There are other things you can check, but we haven't created a company yet. So on missions like this, before you create a company, you know, everything's usually in great working order. You don't have to check everything. Once you create a company, though, yeah, you're going to want to start checking the quality of your tires and struts and everything else. Make sure everything is in perfect working order. Might have to change the time of day. This is the actual time of day here in Colorado, getting a little weird sun. So it's a steam gauge. I haven't flown steam gauge in a while. Kind of nice. Kind of nice to go back. Old school. Got your old school radio stack. Yeah. Taking me back. Taking me back. I like it. I can smell this thing. These seats. Cow flaps. Rudder trim. All right, well, let's get her started up here. Make sure I'm in.
Thanks for being available. I'm Jordan, the maintenance manager. This newly overhauled 185 SKYWAGON needs to get to Sterling, Muni. The owner had to get his aircraft repaired over there. Now that it's fixed, he needs someone to fly it back to him. Mr. Ollie, the owner, is expecting you at the destination on time. Have a safe trip.
All right.
Kilo Lima, India, Charlie traffic. Kin Bravo Foxtrot, Quebec 58 is taxiing to runway tree 4. Kilo Lima, India, Charlie.
It's not cold enough. I don't believe we're going to need the pitot heat. That's usually what cow flaps are for, too, right? This is a little bit of technology that I'm not entirely familiar with on the old school ones. The cow flaps. And I believe that was a baffle. It's near your exhaust that opens it up to heat the engine. If you're, without Googling, if you actually know what cow flaps are, if I'm not wrong, let me know. Isn't this like a carburetor thing or an exhaust thing where you move it to kind of keep your engine warm and when it's cold? I'll have to look it up. Look, we have a tail wheel lock. Learning how to do VOR on these old steam gauge was very interesting. It's got there's the old VOR right here. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Oi, I'm trying to taxi here. Get out of my way. I was out transporting vehicles this morning. I'm getting a late starting today. I'm gonna have to be doing that again this month. So a lot of my live streaming might be this time in the afternoons. If it's not my day off, or maybe even in the evening. I have to play it by ear. It's a new transporting. It's just an on-call kind of thing.
Kilo Lima, India, Charlie traffic. Kin Bravo Foxtrot, Quebec 58. Taking off runway tree 4, north departure, Kilo Lima, India, Charlie.
Looks like I've got a little bit of phantom rudder going on in my controls. Shouldn't be a problem. This thing have autopilot? And no. I don't know why they wanted me to turn around. These arrows are all messed up. Can't take off from here. Turn around and go back the other way. Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit of phantom rotation in the rudder. But I'll just have to... Well, let me see if there's anything I can do here before we get going. Controls. I should just set this up as the Cessna 172. It's going to be the same, basically. Cessna. And we'll check our rudder sensitivity here. Rudder. Yeah. So you see how that's happening over here? This is an old joystick. I need a new one. But that should take care of that phantom jitter there. Adjust our seat here. Much better. Okay, off we go. Old school flying 185 SKYWAGON. Easy. She wants to go. I had to plan this live stream really fast once I got in the door. So I didn't have a chance to really go over the flight plan. See if there was any VORs out here. See if we can toggle on something like that. In our route map settings, further navigation, VOR. So it says they're set up. They're on, but I don't see any. At the airport, is there a VOR there? Yeah, the SNY VOR. So we'll set 1159. So the ways away, but you can see a vector that way. I guess there's one here too. Yeah, let's use the Akron one, and we'll set it to, 320 or something like that. It's kind of cool. You can just set it from here. I can remember how to do this. Okay, so we do have it set. Should be high up enough to read it. That's from... Boy, it's been a long time. Can you push it? That's 2. I don't think that we're reading it. We're not getting any movement on the needle. Maybe too far away. Not high enough. Set our GPS. All right, let's take a look around and see what's different about this one. Oh, just a little bit more cushy back seat. And it looks like a little bit of cargo space back there. We are at 9,000 feet. A little bit of wind, trying to do a little bit of trimming, a little bit of rudder trim and aileron trim if it has it. Try to keep us well. Still wants to push us. Not a problem. Trying to see if I can get the thing straight and level. Straight and level flight. Almost. Pitch power trim, right? Try to come down to 2100 RPMs and readjust. A1. No, 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 no. Trying to put it into a really easy cruise, like 2100 RPM. Not perfect, but pretty close. I mean, close enough. A little bit of porpoising. Not too much. Still getting that pretty significant push. From the wind from our port side. Okay, looks like we've got VOR. From to but I'm not getting centering. So spoiled by technology, and you could just say, well, I'm getting a 14 knot wind, and you can tell which direction it's coming from, and or old squawk. You used to know how to do. You used to have to know how to do so much in the older aircraft. For example, like this right here. I don't have the wind. I don't have a readout for the wind, right? I know it's pushing me, but you used to have to be able to use your slide rule and calculate, okay, you see where the gates are pointing out to Stirling Mun, 5120 nautical miles away. So if that's our destination, and we need a course heading like that, then you need to calculate how much the wind is pushing you and where to set your course at to correct for the wind. So, then they say, well, what is the course heading that you need to set? Right? Used to have to know so much math, and I'm awful at math. But setting a course like this, so that over a duration of time, if you are straight and level, you'll see that it'll keep pushing us. Just pretty significant. We're getting a lot of push. But setting a course like aiming over here. Little pocket of air there. I don't think this plane has trim. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Applying rudder or aileron trim to try to keep us straight. I know that in the real world 172 doesn't have any. I think it might have a rudder, maybe some rudder trim, but I don't believe it had aileron trim. .427 in the afternoon here in lovely Colorado. This should be live time and live weather. It was a lovely day today. Melting off a lot of our snow. But little we had. We did not get pummeled like other places around the United States. See, look at how much push we're getting. Old world navigation, man. I don't envy them. And it doesn't look like this is a variable. I mean, like, it's going to give us the VOR, but I don't seem to be able to center it in any way or set the VOR that the radial that I want. I need a refresher on VOR, but this one doesn't seem to move the needle at all. Just displays where it is relative to our position. We've got the glide slope needle. But doing any of the rotation does not seem to center it up in any way. I mean, I can do a to and from. Got nice beefy tires. Big difference between this and the 172. This is a tail dragger. And that could account for the beefier tires. Maybe they use this more for bush flying. I'm not particularly fond of tail draggers. The design is inherently unsafe. I mean, you gotta You got to know what you're doing, flying the tail draggers. And there's more to it. But again, the design itself, they determined was, it's not as safe as the tricycle configuration, where the little wheel is in the front like a nose wheel, and then your big fat tires are in the back. So over the years, they determined, hey, it's safer to reverse them. And they've always kind of gone towards, whatever design is more safe. And I'm all for it. Definitely what it looks like out here in the eastern half of Colorado. Just a lot of flat. I feel lost without my mountains. I live in Colorado Springs, so, I'm pretty much right up against the Front Range. If I don't have mountains around, I need a compass. I can't wait to see if they end up retrofitting and, what is going to happen with the aircraft coming soon. Because we're getting a lot more computerized controls in aircraft. We're getting the eVTOL technology. More and more AI is coming into the cockpit. Garmin's going to be releasing some. Microsoft and Google might be getting into avionics. NVIDIA is releasing IGX Thor. It's going to be a wonderful AI, I'm guessing. Until I get a hands-on with it and we see it. But Thor is promising to be a phenomenal AI co-pilot. I cannot wait to even to see if we are going to get simulated versions of IGX Thor for this simulator or the next version, the 2030 version of simulator. I wonder if Asobo is going to renew and continue making Flight Simulator for Microsoft. I think they've done a hell of a job. I love what Asobo's done. I'm a big fan. Oh, I have to step up for a minute. I think I have a cat trying to make his way inside. One moment. Yikes. I should probably have been following visual flight rules a little bit more, being at the proper altitude, but coffee here. Cheers. Here's to your health, well-being, and prosperity. Yeah, I'm going to need some refreshers on old steam gauge like this. Again, with the VOR, I can get to the VOR, but then how do you dial a radial? You know, like 30 degrees. Once you hit the VOR, flying the radial that you want to try to get to your destination. If we didn't have these boxes in the air, and I had no indications as to where the damn thing is, that's the only way you used to operate, is you've got to find your VOR, get to your VOR, and then circle the VOR, get your radial right and your distance right, and then fly from the VOR on the radial to the position in space you need to be. Or use your stopwatch or, you know, old school navigation. I haven't done the old school navigation training in the simulator in a while, but they have that kind of training for you to where, you know, after you take off, circle the airport, get your stopwatch, get your heading, set your stopwatch, fly. So there are definitely ways to train if you want to learn how to do that. It took me well, everything takes me a long time. I'm not a fast learner when it came to aviation stuff at all. VOR was very difficult for me to get my head around. But after a while, I got it, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoy VOR navigation. I enjoy VOR to VOR, and using two VOR to basically create triangulations. That's a lot of fun. Using VOR to do DME arcs. Good stuff. We are so spoiled now. We have it so easy these days with modern navigation avionics. So easy today compared to the old days. And it's a blessing. I absolutely love it. So, one of my wish list dreams has come true in the simulator. I wanted Microsoft to be the one to release Microsoft Fishing for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, just either as a standalone Microsoft Fishing, and then if you had the simulator, to be able to incorporate it into the simulator. But Parallel 42 has released Go Fish for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that's fantastic. I have the campout utility. I love using the campout utility, but again, there hasn't been anything to do. But now they've added fishing, and as soon as I can afford to get it, I'm going to pick up Go Fish, and I'm going to get back to exploring all the great camping and fishing in Colorado again. That's what I was doing early on in my series. I would pick great fishing and camping spots in Colorado and fly to them and lay out our camping gear and talk about the parks and what makes it a great place to be, to go camping or fishing in Colorado. And now we've got fishing, so I'm very excited. And I know people are like, dude, it's a simulator. Why do you want to go fishing in a simulator? Because you just want more to do. Sometimes you just need a little break from flying. You want to just put down, camp, do a little fishing. I really wanted them to release a version of the Icon A5 where you can open the canopy once you're on the water and do fishing right inside your Icon A5. Either way, they finally added fishing to the simulator. And another one that I've been wanting since Alpha 2020 is golf. You used to always get like an updated version of golf whenever Microsoft released a new operating system, Windows 95, whatever. Every time you got a new Windows version, you'd usually get an updated Microsoft Golf. Remember Microsoft Golf? Get there, right? Microsoft Golf was awesome. And I wanted Microsoft, since they brought Simulator back, to bring Golf back. And same kind of idea. That you can get Microsoft Golf as a standalone, but if you have the simulator, once you land at an airport, use Unicom to teach you how to use Unicom to set yourself up with solo play or with a group play and go play some golf. And I still am hoping at some point they do. Just more fun things to do. Definitely hoping we were going to get there before the sun goes down. So, yeah, I'm very excited about Go Fish. Thank you and bravo to Parallel 42. So, parallel42.com products /products/go fish. Or just type into Google fishing or Go Fish for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and it'll pop up. I'm gonna say that the wind is blowing from the west. So I would want, well, it doesn't really matter if it's blowing from the west. Let's just do runway 33. Actually, let's go back.
Kilo Sierra Tango, Kilo traffic. Kin Bravo Foxtrot, Quebec 58.
You can do ATIS.
7,000 inbound to land. Runway tree. Kilo Sierra Tango, Kilo.
Sierra Tango Kilo automated weather observation. 2300 Zulu. Wind 081 at 6. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear. Temperature 15C. Dew point 1 tree C.
Okay, so it's coming from 81.
Kilo Sierra Tango Kilo automated weather observation. 2300 Zulu. Wind 081 at 6. Visibility 9er. Sky condition.
So let me change runways.
Kilo Sierra Tango, Kilo traffic. Kin Bravo Foxtrot, Quebec 58. 10 miles south, 7,000 inbound to land. Runway 15, Kilo Sierra Tango Kilo.
How to read that thing. Do 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 do. Didn't realize they had so much water up here. It's very nice. There's a lot of good places to go fishing around here. It looks like the beacon over there at 11 o'clock. Yeah, see it? Unless that is a different airport. That's the hospital. That's a very interesting pattern. runway 15 at that end. So what is that over there? Another airport. KFMM. There it is.
Kilo Sierra Tango, Kilo traffic. Kin Bravo Foxtrot Quebec 58 is on upwind. Runway 15. Kilo Sierra Tango Kilo. Kilo Sierra Tango, Kilo traffic. Kin Bravo Foxtrot Quebec 58 is on crosswind. Runway 15. Kilo Sierra Tango Kilo.
Do 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 do.
Sierra Tango, Kilo traffic. Kin Bravo Foxtrot Quebec 58 is on final. Runway 15 to land. Kilo Sierra Tango Kilo.
Full flap. where we want our pappy lights. Yep.
Kilo Sierra Tango, Kilo traffic. Kin Bravo Foxtrot Quebec 58 is on final. Runway 15 to land. Kilo Sierra Tango Kilo.
God, it's a tail dragger. Gotta be easy. I hate tail draggers. The spin out. So hard to keep them straight. And not spin on landing. And then I hate not being able to see the ground. Very difficult. So, not the prettiest landing. It was soft, but again, it could have been worse if there was stuff on the sides. What's going on with my throttle? Come on. My throttle's not responding now. Come on. What's going on with the throttle? The throttle stopped working. Huh, it'll go out, but it's not going in. See, watch. There's throttle in. So it'll come out. Don't want to try to push back in, nothing. That's weird. And then just a little throttle out and it comes all the way out. I'm having to do a cross arm. Control the yoke with my left hand and control the throttle with my right hand. So I'm not sure why it bugged there and what's What's causing that throttle bug? Anyway, welcome to Sterling, Colorado. I think I've been here once, maybe. I remember delivering a car up here once. So that is, as you saw on the landing, that is one of the reasons why tail draggers are inherently more unsafe than the tricycle configuration. Because one, you're coming in your nose high, so you really have to be into an upper position in the seat. So in seat, you want to be upper position. You really want to have a good high vantage point so you can keep seeing the runway and the touchdown. And then because of the weight and everything, the way it moves, it has a high tendency to turn on you to the right or to the left. Usually for me, it's usually to the right with the torque and all. And so it can induce that spin. Yeah, get out of there.
I know repositioning flights are not always easy missions, but you did a solid job, and I appreciate it.
Well, I hope you're just not too unhappy with my landing. I'm sorry about that. I really am. So we earned a few credits for the day, and that's good. See, there's the tricycle configuration. Nose wheel in the front. Landing smoothness, 38%. Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining me on my flight today. I really appreciate you stopping in or checking in if you're checking in during the flight or afterwards. So thank you. And I don't believe I'm busy tomorrow, so I'll probably schedule something for earlier in the afternoon. Again, I've taken on a new transport job in Colorado, in the real world. So some of my mornings and afternoons might be filled up coming up. So got to play it by ear. Okay. Thanks so much. You have a great evening and a great week. Great whatever. And I will see you tomorrow.